Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you a couple of different team choices you can use for this raid boss event versus Buried Zul'Goth. First things first, you want to pop to the shop if you can and grab yourself a tier 1. This gives you a potion of enchantment amongst other things, which is really cool. Potion of enchantment enchants all allies at the start of battle for this event only, and it's a 3-day event, so it's certainly worth getting. And you get other stuff at the same time, all of which is useful. If you don't have an Igneous already, this is a troop which is actually out there as an available troop already. I've already got it, but if you haven't, you can actually pick one up by buying a tier 2. This is a really good way to get it. Guaranteed Igneous. This is a handy troop for this because it's the God Slayer. The God Slayer does 3 to 5 times skull damage versus bosses based on your ascension. But don't worry too much if you're a newer player and you can't get that third trait. You're not too worried about the skull damage about it, because all this is about really is the main thing is doing 3 to 5 times normal damage versus the boss. You're going to use this to just take out Zul'Goth and do absolutely huge damage to that moldy courgette before he has a chance to cast and just kill one of your team, which is what you don't want. The tier 3, really nice weapon for this. If you can afford the gems, really worth picking up. Not only do you get more raid boss sigils, more troops, trait stones, a potion of rejuvenation, but you also pick up the Fire God's Heart. Sounds like a bad weapon, and it is, but bad in the meaning of the word good. Explodes magic +1 red gems, grants a random stasis effect to all Broken Spire allies, then summons a Broken Spire troop. So this is going to work really well in the team that I'm going to pick. So we'll have that anyway, and we'll have it as a option. There it is, got it already. So, onto the team itself. The team I've got set up at the moment, I'll show an alternative to this in a minute, is 2 times Magma Dragon, who is available from the Underworld. Deals damage to all enemies boosted by red and brown gems. As well as that, it conjures a lava storm when its turn begins, which is red and brown. Now, the reason why we like that weapon is because it's going to explode red gems, but I'm going to go with this as if you can't afford that weapon just yet. A good replacement weapon for that is something like this, Oshia's Tome. Explodes 4 gems for each blue ally and each elemental ally. Now, we use blue, so that is going to be 4 gems already. Magma Dragon is elemental, so another 4 gems exploded for that, and another 4 gems exploded for that. So 12 gems, this will be exploded when we cast that, which is going to generate absolutely plenty of mana. But that Fire God's Heart weapon is actually a very good replacement for that, so I might pop that in a bit later. We'll have Igneous in there as our God Slayer. You're going to want this if you're a newer player, because if you're newer, your Magma Dragon won't dish out as much damage as what mine does. You may have to repeat cast a couple of times, but that's all part of the fun of growing in the game. But you will use your Igneous to bash out that Zul'Goth. Right, so let's just check on this. Haven't picked a banner yet. So what do we want? We get plenty of red and brown, so we don't need to worry about that. It's more important to get our Oshia's Tome charged up, if anything. But we do like brown, that is an important colour, but we'll roll with yellow or blue as the main colour. Actually, let's do it the other way around. This is a little tip for newer players. Look at the colour you don't use, and then do that. Say, I don't want green, because we don't use that, and that'll end up at the bottom of all the banner options. So we can have red and purple, that's not bad. Quite important to get our Igneous charged up nice and quick, but it's not absolutely essential. That's kind of a mixture of both. That's going to be good for getting our Oshia's Tome up nice and quickly, and extra brown for our other 3 troops, so I'll definitely pick that as a possibility. In fact, I think that'll do. Right, what class should we have for this? If you want to be safe, you can go Elemental class. Get that burn, freeze, stun, entangle thing going on the enemy when you get a 4-match. Because of that elemental force. But for this, I am going to go with one of my favourites, Geomancer. Absolutely love it. 50% start for me regarding mana, 50% reduction from skulls. So many good traits when you use brown, it's unreal in this class. We'll go Serendipity. We don't need any of these, I don't think, but anyway. Anti-Magic Sphere, reduce damage from spells by 20%. Tactician, gain 3 magic at the start of battle. Rock solid. We're generating so much brown with this team. We're going to get a barrier when we match brown. That is going to give us a almost non-stop barrier. Tree of Knowledge, gain enchant when matching green gems, which we don't do in general, but basically they may match automatically. But hey, let's have extra brown because we use lots of brown in this team. And Fortitude. And we are good to go. Right, I've jumped forward a little bit. Fighting Zul'Goth now. Just to level 45 at the moment. Only done a few battles against it, but the way you fight this is much as the same as you were doing those earlier battles, but you're going to concentrate on casting your Igneous on Zul'Goth to take him out nice and early. You don't want to give that dude a chance of getting cast, because when he does, he's basically going to kill one of your team absolutely outright. So the way you can do it is get your Igneous up, 5 times the damage if you get this thing onto mythic level, 3 times damage anyway, even on base level. So basically just cast that onto Zul'Goth, take that Mouldy Courgette out with a single one shot, and he is gone. Then cast your Magma Dragons and take out the rest. Just show that one another time, and then I'll switch the team around a little bit. Show how maybe you can go about things an alternative way. If you don't have Oshia's Tome, any explodey weapon will do. Anything that explodes gems, type explode into the search bar when you're looking at your weapons. Type in explode, see what you got. Anything will really do a good job. Just try not to mana block your Magma Dragons if you can. It will just make mana gen just that much easier. And it'll get charged up really quickly. And of course we get brown look, we get that barrier. So this is quite a safe team as well. We get brown all the time with this team. And every time you do that, you can pick up a barrier, saving us from the skull hits. Alright, let's show an alternative team to this now. What I'm going to do is swap out that weapon, see how it works with the new weapon. Was it Fire God's Heart or Rage or Fire God's Nose or something? Fire God's Heart. Alright, so let's get this charged up. Let's get this boosted. Let's take a look at the upgrade. Attack, life, magic. Always good. Oh, 2 magic bonuses. Lovely. Burn the first enemy, lightning. Give all red allies 2 mana when you cast this. Is going to aid the mana progression of our dragons. So we'll upgrade this all the way. Let's chuck this in the team, see how it does. A little bit of mana blocking on the brown side of things regarding our Magma Dragons, but let's just do a couple of fights with this, then I'll show a alternative way you can go about it if you don't have 2 times a Magma Dragon. Forgot what I'm doing now. I've changed the team. It's messed with my equilibrium. If you want to try and sound posh, let's explode those gems. Our Igneous is up. Let's get this damage in there while we can. Kiaboosh. Cast Magma Dragons. Obviously, if your magic is not as high as mine, you may have to multicast your Magma Dragons. But it's okay, because our weapon was charged up again, ready to just give all that lovely mana fed back into the team. So I'll just do one more battle with this, because it's very similar to the way that last team works with Oshia's Tome. Didn't actually change the banner to take advantage of that. If you do change weapons, remember to take a look at your banner. Make sure that's still going to work in the same kind of way. And make the required adjustments. See ya, boy. Keep getting that barrier look every single time we get brown. Makes it nice and tanky. I'll just show this last alternative team here, and it's just a different way to go about it, really. I still like the double Magma Dragon team. But with this one, you have to be a little bit more patient, because you basically need to have all the team charged up at the same time. But where these 3 use red and brown, they mana block each other. So basically just get all these 3 charged up at the same time. But once they're charged up, it is really, really effective. Still use Igneous as our God Slayer if you need to. But Magma Dragon here, the way it creates so much red and brown is kind of the key to how this works. And you can cast that if you need to do that damage to all as well. But Earth's Fury or Mang, they both do a very similar thing. Both use red and brown, whichever you prefer. Eliminate all armor from an enemy in this case and deal magic-based damage. Give all allies 2 attack boosted by armor eliminated. So the stronger the opponent, the more this works against them. The stronger Zul'Goth gets as these levels progress, the more actual attack you end up giving yourself, and it makes your team actually more devastating as the levels progress, which is kind of working against the game in a way, but it's a good equalizer. It's a good game-changing way to actually put those higher levels in your favor. But to get the most out of this skull damage, we can use Sheggra. Create 7 red gems, then convert all red gems to skulls. Now remember, we're getting this constant storm here, red and brown storm with lava storm. So we're going to have a load of red on the screen all the time to convert to skulls and do massive damage to their team. Banner for this, I've switched it to +2 brown, +1 red, -1 yellow. So let's give it a couple of goes. Remember, you do have to get at least the first 2 troops charged up on this before you start casting, but where we get lots of red with this, lots of brown, we're enchanted as well. It shouldn't take too long. Like, don't cast that now just because it's ready, otherwise you're going to be mana blocking these 2. We're actually being a little bit unlucky with our red and brown considering there's a storm at the moment, but now we're good to go. Cast this on whoever's got the most armor, which will typically be Zul'Goth. There you go. Woohoo! Now got 119 attack on our top troop, 110, 113, 110. When you cast your Sheggra, what you're looking for if you want to guarantee a hit is at least a line of red with a skull. This is going to be an extra turn, most likely, because when he creates those 7 red gems, converts all to skulls, we're doing massive damage. Remember, we get a barrier when we collect brown as well, so you don't have to worry too much about giving the enemy a skull hit afterwards. Our barrier is going to save us from that. You can still use a God Slay if you want to finish off a Zulu boy. You can use Magma Dragon to wallop him with that. Get a barrier if you don't have one. And just charge up Sheggra and go for it again. Oh, we missed, but it doesn't matter. My revenge will be bad. Just do one more. This is a better team if you're a newer player. If your Magma Dragons on the earlier team, because they are the main damage dealers, take multiple casts of both of them, so the game is really long, then you may find this a better team. For speed, even though it's a slower starting team, you may find that high skull damage really helps you out later on. Even though the game is being absolutely rotten to us on our colours. Supposed to be a red storm going on. And brown. Right, so let's get this boost on the attack. So here we've got, can't miss, gonna get skulls, gonna get pain for the opposition. Take out those all if you want to be absolutely sure, always a good tactic. And your skulls will be doing super massive duper danger damage, whatever that is. I'm just waiting for a skull hit now. And the game will be done. Looks like there should be a skull hit somewhere, but there's not. There it is, there's the video. If you enjoyed it, why not bash that like and subscribe button? It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.